We are 2 weeks away from President Trump's original target date of May 1st, but he says under the new plan, some states could be ready to start reopening as soon as today. These are the 10 states with the fewest reported cases, like Wyoming. It has the least, just under 300. North Dakota, Alaska, and Montana also have fewer than 500 cases each. Now compare that to the 10 states with the most reported cases, led by here in New York with more than 223,000. New Jersey has more than 75,000. Massachusetts, Michigan, and Pennsylvania have more than 25,000 reported cases each. The actual numbers could be higher because of under-testing. Our Dr. David Agus joins us now from Los Angeles with more on this part of the story. David, it's good to see you. Every time I hear the word cases, what I know is we are talking about people. And when I think about people, in order to save the people, you have to do the testing. We just can't seem to get that right. So in Paula's piece, she mentioned a robust form of testing. What exactly does that mean?
Yeah, I agree with you, Gail. We have to think about the people. There have been at least 2,000 deaths in the United States each of the last 3 days. You know, testing is not just the number of tests, the reagents, the people to do the test, the antibody test, the social tracing. It's all of them. And so the key is that each state have all of those methodologies and equipment in stock and ready to go in that enterprise program. And I'm not confident yet each of the states do. And so we don't even have an antibody test yet in this country, let alone a state having a program to implement it among its citizens. So the plan is interesting with the 3 steps, and I like that. It makes sense. But we certainly need each of these testing programs in place before we can do it.
Do you think, David, the truth of the matter is we all need to be tested, especially since this virus has no symptoms for some people? Shouldn't we all just be tested?
Well, there are 2 parts to testing. Do you have the virus? And so we need a robust program to test people, especially in underserved neighborhoods where asymptomatic people can spread and where there hasn't been a lot of testing. And then we need to identify who has had the virus, especially, again, with those asymptomatic people. You may have had it and you may be immune. Both of those programs need to be done. I know workplaces now are planning on regular testing programs for their employees who are symptomatic and what we call a surveillance program. So just going around and testing people randomly and seeing, are there asymptomatic people within our workplace? We saw in the state of South Dakota, one meat processing plant caused an enormous outbreak from one person where hundreds of people got the virus.
So given the lack of testing in places that have lower cases like North Dakota and Wyoming, is it safe, do you think, to reopen places like that, states like that?
Well, the difficult part is, you know, phase 1, there is non-essential travel is not allowed. But phase 2, so 2 weeks later when they open it up, people can just cross state borders. So no matter how good you are, what you need is people to cross borders. What happened in Italy was in northern Italy put in grid restrictions and everyone just went down to southern Italy. And so policy causes spread of the virus. What I don't want to see happen is one county relaxes because there are few cases and everybody goes out to dinner from the county over and spreads the virus there. Those kind of things certainly worry me because the president did say it doesn't have to be a whole state policy. Governors can do it county by county.
There is troubling news from South Korea today where people that had previously tested negative are now testing positive. So what does that tell us about the immunity of COVID-19?
It's certainly scary results. Over 140 people in South Korea. And in South Korea, you have to test negative. It's 2 tests 48 hours apart. And times later, these people turned out positive. Well, were they false negative tests, which we know happened with current testing? Or did the virus come back in those individuals? We don't know the answer yet. Studies are ongoing, but we need to do those studies here. We have the same time of having the disease in South Korea. Yet I want the data here in the United States.
I think we can certainly take lessons from others. Thank you, Dr. Agus. Good to see you.